This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. One thing is, you guys can go on mute, please. Like, no, if you have any questions, you can turn on your microphone and you can ask the questions. And yeah, um, yes, if any point of time you have a questions, you can turn on your microphone and you can feel free to speak, or you can ask me the questions. Like, no, make it this demonstration as much as interactive, so that you can ask the what are the doubts you have, so the best of my knowledge I can answer your questions. Yeah. This is a Java full stack program. Let me share my screen. Okay, I don't have the a very formal presentation or anything here, like, no, what exactly we are going to cover, what you can expect from these sessions. I'm going to set the expectations, and I will be explaining that what exactly we are going to learn in this journey. Okay. So Java full stack, as a full stack developer, you decided to learn Java full stack, or you are planning to switch your career to the Java full stack developer. So the first thing is, any Java developer or any developer, you must have the one programming language. Okay, this is a programming language. You are going to you are choosing it as a Java. That's a very good thing. Okay, Java is your first programming language. Or you already experienced with some other programming language, you are planning to switch to the Java. When it comes to the Java, the fundamentals are, we are Java, we are going to cover, like, no, core. The core Java is that this is a place where we will be explaining about the fundamentals, like, no, what is a programming, what is a compiler, what is how to compile your program, what is the IDE, like, now how we are going to create a project in IDE. Very very basics, we will get start with that, like, no. So we will write from the hello world examples, like, the basic things are, we will be discussing literally basics. uh, how do you write a Java program, how are you going to compile your Java program, and then how do you write the if conditions, if else conditions. The fundamentals will start, then we will take to the object oriented concepts, like, no. So then we will be discussing about the collections, like threadings, regular expressions, and remaining all the topics we are going to cover. And this core is the main concepts. Okay, then here we will be discussing I'm at a high level, I'm writing here collections and exceptions. Then here we are going to discuss about the threads. We are going to discuss about the threads. Then like, no, regex. Okay, regex, we are going to discuss about regular expressions, reflections. There are a lot bunch of other topics are available. Okay. Reflections, these are the topics we would be at a high level, I'm telling you that here. These all these things we are going to discuss. Okay, somebody else, so sorry, your voice is not clear. Hey, is it clear, my voice? Somebody says that my voice is not clear. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay, fine. Now here, once you are done with that, then, like, no, you should get familiar with the one database language. Okay, one database, not one database language, I'm sorry. So one database, when you are using the databases these days, the people are expecting the, you should know one is a SQL database, and another one is a SQL database, another one is a no SQL database. No SQL database. Okay. So the NoSQL database, we will introduce you with the MongoDB. And SQL database, you can take the one of the databases. One is like, no, you can use the either MySQL, Postgres SQL, or like, no, DB2, Oracle, then MS SQL. There are a lot of databases are available. I would be going with the Postgres SQL. I'm going to take that here, and it's the same thing, same queries. How will you write the MySQL? I will be explaining about that. The SQL we are going to cover. SQL is a common language for the all your databases. For all common databases, like, you know, what are the databases you are having? For all these databases, the SQL is a common language. But once you learn the SQL, you can go and comfortably work with the either MySQL or PostgreSQL. You can work with that. And then NoSQL databases will be introduced with the MongoDB. Then we will be covering the UI topics. The UI, you will be covering the HTML, okay, then CSS, JavaScript, okay. You will be learning about the Angular, okay. So here we will introduce the Bootstrap, the Angular. Okay, this is a Bootstrap and Angular. uh, like no, the main focus will be given on uh, the the Angular and JavaScript. And before going to the Angular, we will be introduced to the TypeScript. These are the things you can expect. You are going to learn from the fundamentals. You are going to learn that. Then you would be learning about the server side. Okay, server side. Don't don't get scared or don't think that there is too much. You are not going to learn everything in one day. There is a every topic we'll learn. We will do the some exercises on that. Then we'll move to the next topic, the server side. When it comes to that, here we will give a small introduction about the servlets and JSPs. Okay, we may not go in depth into the servlets and JSPs because these days everybody is moving towards the RESTful web services, and by using the Angular and writing the REST services. So that was a main focus will be given. Then once we're done with that, we will get started with the Spring Boot. This is a place where I'm going to discuss about the most of the concepts, in order to survive in the projects, or in order to comfortably go and work in the projects, what are the topics are required. We'll be covering the all the things in Spring. We are going to cover it here. The main topics are we are going to cover here: Spring Core, the core concepts we are going to cover. Core, then IOC. Okay, IOC. Then here we are going to MEC, then data, Spring Data. So then security. These are the topics which we are going to cover in when you are doing the Spring Boot. So now once you are done learning all these things here, whenever you are entering into the any project, when you are working on the projects, okay, we need to follow the certain okay, here when you're working in a projects, when you're working in the projects, or when you're working in a team, these projects, learning the programming language is a one aspect. You have to follow the industry standards. The day one you enter into the project, then there will be something they will be using the lot of tools they will be using that here. The first tool is I'm going to explain about the JIT. JIT is the version control system, where you are the source code, whatever the source code you are going to create, you are going to manage in a central repository. From there, other developers are going to access, and what are the changes they are going to do. Those changes again they are going to pushing to the common place. They are going to put that here, and it is going to maintain the versions, different versions it is going to maintain here. How to use effectively JIT, we will be learning about that here. What are the JIT commands, and by using your IDE, how we are going to push the code, pull the code, and if there is any conflicts, how we are going to resolve that, how we are going to resolve, how we are going to explain that, how we are going to resolve those conflicts. These all these things we'll be learning. And the JIT we are going to use from the day one. From the day one, we are going to use the JIT, like the projects, whatever I'm going to create, and what are the source code I'm going to create. I'll be sharing with you GitHub link, and I will ask you to create a GitHub link, and where whatever the code you are creating, if you want to code any source code review, I will be taking your GitHub repository link, and I'm going through your source code. And yeah, somebody is asked, is it microservices are going to covered? No, microservices are not going to cover. That will be dealt it as a separate course. If majority of the people are asking, yeah, we can cover in 1 or 2 weekends. We can cover what is the microservices, how the things works. Okay, cool. This is a JIT, and once you get familiar with the JIT, and there is other tools also we have, something called the Maven. These are the build tools. When you are working in the projects, you will be building your projects. So the build jobs you have to automate that. For that we use the something called the Maven, or equivalent of that is a Gradle. Okay, Maven or a Gradle. So we are going to use the in our sessions, we are going to use the Maven. We are going to use it here. Okay, this is another tool which you should get familiar with that. And then there is a IDE. This IDE is a you can take the any IDE, either Eclipse or you can take the NetBeans, Eclipse or Net. How the full stack is different from the, yeah, there is a, okay, I will take all these questions in like at the end I'll take it here. Yeah, now whatever the questions you have. Okay, IDE is the we can take the IDE. What are the your y- what are the IDE we are having here? You can take the favorite IDE. So you can use the IntelliJ or Eclipse, or you can take the NetBeans. There are other IDEs are available. Even Visual Studio Code also can be used as IDE. So here we are going to use the IntelliJ IDE. I'm going to use it here. JetBrains IntelliJ IDE. I'm going to use it here. So we will see that how to create a projects and how effectively use the IntelliJ IDE. So just I'm going to give the explanation about that here. And at the same time, so if you look at here, this is a community edition I'm taking here. So we need not to pay anything for this community edition. So just this is the IDE I'm going to use it in the application in our classroom sessions. Now, once you have used the IDE, these applications needs to be deployed. These applications, what are the applications you are going to build, that needs to be deployed. Before deploying that, you need to do the your jobs automation. For that, you will use the, in the industry, Jenkins. You will use it here, like no CI/CD tools as a Jenkins. You will use it here. What is a Jenkins and how we are going to use the Jenkins, that I'll be explaining that here. And another one is your source code, like no, what are the source code you are going to write it here. Like you need to write the something called the JUnit, how to write the JUnit test cases, and how to see that how much code coverage is done, like now using the plugin called the Jacoco. This is one of the plugin, and whether you have written the code, what are the code you have written, whether code quality is good or not. To check that, here we'll use this something called the Sonar. These all the tools, every project, what are the projects you are going to work on, every project will be configured with this all these things, like no Jacoco, Sonar, Jenkins. So the entire life cycle of the your project, like no, so from the how the project will start, like no, what are the tools they will use it in the projects. So everything we are going to cover in this Java full stack course we are going to cover here. Yeah, uh, everything in the sense, not like we are not going to spend months together on this. Like no, so exactly in a work environment, how the Jenkins will be used. Like now, how we are going to create your Jenkins jobs and how we are going to trigger your Jenkins jobs. Those are the things we will be explaining that. Yeah, and JUnit, yes, like now, what are the code you have written? Like we need to test that code. It is going to work now and it is going to work in a future. So if there is any changes are there, you need not to go and do test it everything. Like now, you just go and run your JUnit test cases. You are going to run that. How to run the JUnit test cases, how to write the JUnit test cases, we'll be discussing about that. So these are the things you can expect as a, like no, in this course you can expect that here. Okay, now I'll take the questions for a few minutes. Yeah, there are a lot of questions. What is the duration of this course? Like no, the daily it will be 1.5 hour session. Like now, so it may take the 45 to 50 days. So it will take that approximately 45 to 50 days time. It will take it. Yeah. And do you get recording if you miss the classes? Yeah, every day recording will be shared, and at the same time, you will get the running notes. What are the running notes I am creating here? The running notes and the examples which we are going to create in a classroom. Everything you will get it. Everything you will get it. Yeah. Yes. Answer to your question, Tanuja. Yes, you will get the both the things. Recordings, the running notes, and at the same time you'll get the examples whatever I'm going to create it. I'm going We are going to provide. Okay, good. This all these things are fine. Like no, as a full stack developer, what is my opportunity? Like no, how my career will be. These questions, so people will have that here. This you can say that no, any enterprise grade applications when you're developing, the de facto standard is nowadays it's a Spring and a Spring Boot. They are going to use it here, like no. Uh, and another thing is like Java is going to be the top language from last 15 years, and it is going to be a top language. I can say that another at least 10 years. Yeah. The Java also has been evolving. Lot of changes has been happening. Lot of changes has been happening, and whenever the changes is happening, if language doesn't adapt the changes, then it will be kicked out of the market. But Java is adopting those changes, and the recent versions of the Java is a JDK 19. Okay, JDK 19 is a latest version. I think by the time we start our batch, and if you are in the middle of that batch, the Java 20 may release that here. Don't worry about the Java 19 or 20. We will get start with the our Java 19. That means what are the features are there in earlier versions. Everything I will be covering in these sessions. I'm going to cover. We'll start with the JDK 19. Yeah, there is a one more question. Do you review all the codes which we should give the feedback? Generally, if you're really interested, Ashish, so if somebody is sending me, definitely I'm going to review that here, but only very few people will do that. Yeah, if you are really interested, you are sending the code, yes, we'll review that. Yeah. Yeah, initially they may do that, 1 or 2 days they will do that, and then the people will stop that. Yeah. If you are not that category, you are really interested to learn and you want to review your code, yes, definitely we'll do that. Yeah. So we'll start with the JDK 19. JDK 19 is the latest version as of today. We don't know, maybe in another 6 months, every 6 months there is new version is going to be released. And here when you're using the JDK 19, okay, I'm going to take it here. This is the place. So whether what is the version of the JDK it is installed, just I'm checking that here. JDK Java minus version. In my mission, it is installed the JDK 19. It is installed here. Okay, cool. Now, how these sessions are going to get start with that? So first we will get start with the. Okay, I was discussing about the. Okay, good. Some people are asking, do you cover core Python? Yeah, core Python. Yes, it is going to cover the core Python. You don't expect the Java full stack course. You don't expect the frameworks, at least the core Python. As a Java developer, sometimes what happens is here you will get the some data. You will get the data in flat files, or some of the data you may be getting from the different sources. Those data needs to be cleaned, and you have to dump it into the databases. Okay, writing in Java, it may take little more than the what it's required time. Those things can be done it in quickly in a Python. As a Java developer, if you have a knowledge on the core Python, definitely it is going to add a great value. Yeah, great value it is going to add it here. So we are going to cover the core Python, so the basic things whatever you are going to learn in the core Java concepts, some of the concepts are going to be repeated in Python. You trust me that, guys, if you know Java, learning Python on your own, it may not take more than a week time. More than a week time it will not take it here. Just it's a matter of time, and the amount of interest you have. Once you got familiar with the Java syntax and the Java way of doing the things, I strongly believe that you can go and learn any programming languages, because more or less every language will follow the same things. Almost all the concepts are there in Java. You name it, OOPS concept, you got functional programming, lambda expressions, like o- you name it, any concept. Those concepts are there, but equivalent of that concepts are there in other programming languages. Other programming languages, it will have it here. For quickly sake of a discussion, I'm telling you that, no, for answer to your questions, yes, we are going to cover the core Python. Yeah. Oh, yeah, here we start with the JDK. Now, how these sessions are going to start, that's the next question. No, the basic installation. Okay, first we are going to installation of all required tools. Required tools. Okay, tools, no, required tools are softwares. We will install the IDE, then we'll install the IDE, then we are going to install the Maven. Okay, this is a Maven we are going to install. Then we are going to install the your JDK. So JDK we are going to install the 19. Uh, then then it's required, the another one is a JIT is required here. Okay, JIT is required. And where when you are learning about the Jenkins and databases, what is a database is required is a Postgres. Okay, Postgres SQL is required here. Sometimes I may ask you that, this Postgres SQL installation, server installations are not required. We can take the cloud services, render.com. This is a people where they will provide the, you can create your own database, cloud database you can create, and this is only valid for 3 months. Once 3 months is over, your data is going to deleted, and your, you cannot use that database anymore. 3 months is a good time, when you are learning the databases and you're learning about the SQL. There is no point installing the softwares in your machine. You can go and install. You can go and create a instance in the render.com. It's a free. They will not ask you any credit card or anything as of today. We don't know. Earlier, Heroku is also free. From the last 2 months, those guys are asking to pay the amount, credit card and all these details they are asking here. Render.com as of today, it's a free. You can create a one instance, and you can run the your Postgres SQL one instance. You can run it. So I will show you that how we are going to run that, in the render.com. So suppose if you look at here, in my the here I'm using the render.com instance. I'm using here. I This was it is going to give you the how you can connect with the databases. I'll be explaining all these things here. Here we are using the dbviewer is a tool. This is a tool for every database. You can connect with the any database. Okay, MySQL, PostgreSQL, what are the, you name any database, you can see here. You can connect with these many databases. You can connect with that. Okay, no SQL databases also you can connect. So this is a place where they are saying that here SQL databases are, these are the SQL databases, but no SQL databases, they are not showing the list. I don't know. So you are going to use the tool called the dbviewer. We are going to use it here. How to use the dbviewer, I'll explain those things as well. Okay, now here, once you install the basic setup, IDE, Maven, JDK, JIT, and PostgreSQL, this is the first class. I will be explaining that here, how we are going to install all these things here. I will take the one of the you people mission as a remote access. I'll be installing these all the things we are going to install. Once you install that here, then we are going to start with the core Java. That is a core Java. We are going to start it here. And before core Java, starting the core Java, we will be creating the day one itself Maven projects. Okay, we are not going to create a traditional project. We will create a Maven project. We are going to create it here. What is this Maven? What is the project directory structure? How it looks in a Maven? Okay, I'll be explaining that here. The reason is why I'm starting with the Maven is, whenever you are going to work in the work environment, you will not see any project without build tool. Okay, all the projects, almost even relative to small or big project, every project will be created by using the one of the build tool, either Maven or Gradle. So this Maven is a kind of, say that, no, universal directory structure is going to maintain here across the developers. You will have the common understanding where your source code is going to reside, where your test cases are going to reside. So these all these things will have the common directory structure. It will have it. And another one is, when you are working in a projects, you need a lot of libraries. No, Java alone you cannot solve the your business problems. Sometimes you need to talk to the email. Sometimes you need to use the third party libraries, Apache libraries, or converting into the Java object to the JSON object, you require a JSON libraries. Converting the YAML file to the Java object, you require a YAML libraries. Those lot of third party libraries are required. Those third party libraries, you don't want to download and keep it in your project. So instead of that, what are the libraries is required, you are going to get from the Maven central repository. You are going to get it, and you will be adding to the class path. Those all jobs will be done by the your Maven. So from the day one, we will start with the Maven. what is this maven, what is the directory structure of the maven, how are you going to add the dependencies, I will be explaining in the maven. Then we will get start with the programming fundamentals. The programming fundamentals will get start with the writing the hello world. So how to write the hello world example. Okay, then you will be writing the basics. We are going to learn about the basics. This basics would be very simple, adding the two numbers, multiplying the two numbers. Once you get familiar with the basic concepts, then you are going to learn about the conditional statement, iterative statements, then like how we are going to write a switch statement, the difference between break and continue. Those all programming fundamentals will be introduced. Once you got familiar with that, then your actual Java concept starts. So whatever you learn basics, these basics are common in any programming languages. Any programming languages, it is a common. Okay, either be it a Python or Java or other programming languages. If you take that, it is going to be a common. From now onwards, your actual Java concepts will start. We can take it as a till here basics is something like I can say that as a if else if else oh sorry if else if we are going to take the for while do while. Okay, do while, sorry, switch. Then you have something called the break, and then there is something how are you going to define the methods, uh, writing the methods, and then you have something called the continue. Okay, so these are the programming fundamentals. When you're writing the basic programs, these all the things you will get familiar with that. Then you have something concept called the you will get started with the string. How are you going to use the strings and the arrays? Okay, strings and arrays. So till here I can say that here it is a common for any programming languages. Once you get familiar with these topics, you can go and comfortably work with the any programming languages. You can understand that what exactly they are doing. Then from there onwards, it will start the actual Java concepts, what is object oriented programming, and exception handling, collections. Those are the topics I will be discussing about that. Okay, this is the way we will start that here, and at the same time, every day you will be giving the assignment questions. Suppose if you look at the one of these previous batches, what it is going currently. This is a core Java, and what are the examples we are going to do that here. This is a way everyday class it will be given the this is the basics. What are the things you are going to learn about the basics. Suppose a cab allocation. This is a place where you are going to enter the number of persons and what is the cab capacity, how many cabs are required, you are going to find that here. That what is the uh, division operation and modulus operator. What is the division operation, what is the modulus operator. Once you learn that here, practically we need to solve some problem. Okay, that problem is, this is what one of the example we are going to take it here. So swapping of the two numbers, how do you swap the two numbers with using the temporary variable, how we are going to do that here. These are the basic questions, finding the sum of two numbers. So once you are done with the everyday session, the source code will be pushed to the GitHub repository. The core Java, you will be not only the core concepts, you will be covering with the how to work with the JSON object to the Java objects and the YAML files, and there will be a lot of the assignment things, how are you going to, suppose if you are developing a quiz application, let's take it as one of the example, quiz. So how to develop this application, quiz application, how are you going to develop here. Now here enter your name, it is asking here. I'm going to say it as a Manoj, something I'm saying here, hey Manoj, please wait, your quiz is going to start in few seconds. Okay, Java is a platform or a programming language. I'm going to give the random answers 3, and I'm saying that what is the result. I'm going to give the 4, I'm going to give the 2, and I'm going to give the sorry, please try again, it is going to say that here. Okay, because I got fail. No, this is saying that hi Manoj, sorry, please try again. So now if I run the next time, I'm going to run the next time I'm running here, I'm going to say it as the same Manoj, I'm going to give it here. Okay, your quiz is going to start it in a few seconds, please wait. Okay, Java is a platform. I'm saying it as it is a both. And here, what is the result of that? It is a 15. And here, 3 into 3 6 into 24, which is a 3. And we are going to say that, hey Manoj, congratulations, you have done good job. Okay, this is a one of the classroom examples, like no, learning the concepts and practically how we are going to implement that. How we are going to implement that, like no. So object oriented concepts when you're learning here, hey, I learn about the class and I learn about the constructor, I learn about the getters and setters. What kind of problems I'm going to solve? We created a simple quiz. This is a quiz service. We created a list of questions and we are asking the user to take the quiz. And the moment he has done with the quiz, we are going to show the result. Like no, if he has done well, we are saying that good job. Otherwise, we are asking him to take the quiz once again. So this is the examples we will create in the classroom, and the same examples will be shared with you GitHub. Suppose if you are learning about the JUnit, like no, one more module will be created in the project. And what is a JUnit, and what are you going to learn in the JUnit? How do you do that JUnit testing? How we are going to do that here? Like no, number operations. Here you will have the all the test cases. How do you do the test cases? Okay. So how to write the JUnit test cases? Biggest of three numbers when you're writing. How are you going to write the test cases for that? And you will be checking that here. Fizzbuzz, this is one of the game application. So how do you test the Fizzbuzz application? So like no, practically we will be showing the uses of the JUnit test cases and writing the test-driven approach. We are going to take it here. You would be doing that. You will be explaining that here. Fine. These are the things you can expect in a classroom examples. Like no, it's not like simple examples. Like more or less all the examples, whatever you are going to take it here, it's related to the what you can call uh, real-time examples, very close to the real-time examples. Like now, how we are going to take the email templates and how do you get that email templates and converting into the email templates into the like now how we are going to send those email templates as email. So almost you can say that no, with after attending these classes, if you are practicing every day, what are the examples I'm giving and what are the assignments I'm giving, if you are solving that things, so you can climb that. Like no, so it is equal to 2 years experience person, how much code he is doing, that much code you will be introduced. So this is what you can expect in these sessions. Okay, anyone has any questions before I go further? Does it anyone has any questions? No one?
So
Yeah.
now you will tell how to install all these tools, right?
um May not do now, so we will take it as that as a first session. We'll do that.
Okay.
Okay, I will just at least to tell that, like no, how we are going to create a project, how to write the
Mm-hmm.
your first example. I will show that in Python and Java. How we are going to do that, both I'll explain.
Okay.
Does it make sense? Yeah,
Yes.
good. Fine. Any other questions? No.
Satya,
Yeah, go ahead please.
are you going to cover any web servers or application servers here?
See here, Apache Tomcat, it comes by default in Spring Boot applications. Yeah,
Okay.
those days are I think it is gone.
Mhm.
Like now installing the separate server and deploying your applications, like no, so everything is now Dockerization and Kubernetes they are using. And so the traditional approach has been you can say that
Mhm.
it has been broken or it's been ruled out. Now these days everybody is going with that. There is no point in going with those things, I'm saying.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, fine.
yeah.
And Spring Boot will cover, that concept
Yeah,
also.
Spring Boot, all these things we'll be covering, like no Spring Boot, how you are going to create a Docker and deploying the Docker images into the we can take the render.com, how do you deploy that to Dockers, I'll be covering that.
Okay, okay, fine, I got it.
Yeah. Render or AWS, we can take it here. Render is a free service, like now when you're learning, why should we spend some money on that? We can use that.
Fine,
Okay,
fine,
cool.
Satya. That's it.
Yeah. Okay.
Basically, it is, I'm just, generic doubt. I worked on before,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Siebel.
mm-hmm.
It is kind of, Siebel applets and views, those kind of application it is, right?
Hmm.
No.
Sorry for that, Sibyl. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Okay, okay. Let me
Okay.
explain to you. When you, develop
Yeah.
application for that, okay?
Uh-huh.
It's
Uh-huh.
just like, I want to enter, a customer details. We can create it here,
Okay.
right?
Okay. Okay.
Those kind of applications, right?
See, we will create a applications like no multiple applications we'll create like no I,
Okay, okay.
I didn't notice your name. I'm sorry for that.
Shaker, I am Satya.
Yeah, Shaker. Yeah, Shaker. Like no, it is not like a one application we'll take it here. We will be
Okay,
developing the multiple applications. Like let's
okay.
take it as a for relatively simple understanding that. So
Okay.
everyone is familiar with the IPL. Am I correct? Okay, most
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
them like no India Premium League and where multiple people coming to the from the different companies and they will be like no paid some amount and
Yes.
like no if you look at their raw data, it looks something
Mm,
like this. Okay, if you look at the raw data, IPL players, this is the data.
mm. Okay.
Okay, this is the data we are having here, name and like no which team is playing for that type and
Okay.
like no value in CR and national side and which country is from that. Okay, now
Mm,
the
mm,
requirement is very simple. Like no, I'll take this. This is the best thing. Like no, you can more or less it's a readable format. Okay, somebody has a question. So, is it possible to learn without any programming language and computer knowledge? See, one thing I can tell you that, like, no, the programming learning is, I don't think so. It requires a special degree. Like, I have seen people without programming, without having any technical background, learn the programming language. Programming language is entirely different thinking. Like, if you know mathematics, you are good at problem solving. Definitely, you can learn the programming language. That's what I believe in. Those who are having the mathematical skills and problem solving skills, you just learning the syntax, no, the programming, learning the programming language is nothing but you're learning the syntax. Like no, the majority of your work is like no thinking and how you are approaching the problem. That's what it is, no. So if your problem solving skill is good and your mathematical skills is good, then you can learn programming languages easily. Yeah. And yeah, initially you will get scared, like no, oh my goodness, I have to remember so many things and I have to like no, hey, what is this if, what is this for, and what I'm doing, and all the things, you will get confusion. Definitely you will get confusion. See the, like no, it is the best example I can give you that, like no, when you are in a closed community, you speak very well and like no, you are very familiar with all the people and the language, that area and everything, you are familiar with that, you will be so comfortable. Suddenly you will go to the different place and where you are not familiar with anyone, you will feel odd man out, like no, hey, I'm feeling, you feel lonely also. There are so many people around but you feel lonely. So if unless until you get familiar with that, everything will looks tough. Once you get familiar, everything looks easy. No, that simple it is. Any programming language is also same thing. You're when you're learning the first time, everything looks like Latin and Greek because we are not familiar with that. The moment you start learning and practicing that, you'll get more familiar and you'll get used to that. Yeah. Okay, one more question. Thank you, sir. Okay, fine. I mean, I'm not saying that like no, it's just like that you learn like no. Whereas the person who is learning the programming, like no, who has done the BTech in computer science or BSc in computer science, he has put some little efforts to learn that here. But by the time you completed the BTech or you are in you are also the both the maturity levels will be the same. I think you can like no, you are going to get started with that. Like no, the person may take the 3 months, you may take the 6 months. Non-computer science student may take the 6 months. when you are learning in programming language, one thing you remember that you are learning the syntax. Learning the syntax is, I'm telling you, that that comes by practice, not by reading the books or anything. It comes by practice. If you are more practicing that, you will get the you will get familiar with the syntax, and you'll feel comfortable. Okay. Yeah, I was telling something and I deviated. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's good actually, Satya. Because
Okay.
even I am not technical. I am also a BA
Yeah.
graduate, so I'm
Correct.
learning it. So
Yeah.
instead of that, spending a day with 2 3 hours more, you can learn it as good as technical
Exactly.
way.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. That depends on the person, like no how, like no and one more best example we can say that, like no, if you want to learn swimming, you have to jump into the water, not by watching and not by listening, but somebody, so you will not get confidence to jump it into 3 feet water swimming pool. Only you will be confident, like no, you started jump into the water and you practicing that, and when you learn that, then only you will be comfortable. The same thing even programming languages also. And another thing is, I'm telling you that these days I'm saying that programming languages are changing rapidly. Everybody has to learn every day. There is no other go. Like now, if you don't learn, or if you don't upgrade your skills, definitely you are going to be outdated, like no. uh, the Nokia case is the best example. I can say that, no, when the Android came, they have taken a very light. They were like, no, connecting people. They were there for so many years. Since they didn't upgrade, so they have kicked out of the market. The same thing in our lives also. If you don't upgrade, definitely, okay, I know Java, okay, I need not to study anything. So those days are gone. Like no, once you learn Java, you will be survive for 10 years. No, that is not the case now. So things are been evolving, changing rapidly. So every day you should be learning something. Okay, what level you are. That's a common. Okay, so learning is a journey. Yeah.
What about the
Yes.
chat that are like currently in the market?
What is that?
Chatbots?
See, chatbots and all these things, like no, okay, those all are, that is a different space, I can say that. Okay, that's a
Yeah,
different space.
AI.
Still, it is a evolving space. Okay,
Mm.
it takes long way to go. I'm not saying that, like no, there is no scope for that. There is a scope for that. Like uh, 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 recently, AI tool which is introduced to the market, like where you can search something and they are going to give the including the source code and everything. It is going to replace the developer's job. No, not that is not going to happen. I believe that will not happen. Like no, chatbots will say that no. It will have the certain level of intelligence through the algorithms they learn, but they cannot solve your business problem, no. Okay, so to solve the business problems, definitely we need a developers. Yeah, developers life may become easy. Instead of going and searching in multiple places, you may search it in one place. Yeah, cool. Um let's let's go back to the our discussion. Yeah, here we are having this is a seed data you are having here. By looking at the seed data, you cannot make out anything. Okay, not seed data, this data you cannot make it anything here. Now what you can do here is uh Koryava, I'm going to take it here. Oh no, um, let me take to this, sorry, a small presentation. I'll take that here, right? Okay, I'm sorry guys. Okay, where did I keep that here? Okay, I think I don't have that. IPL. Okay, IPL stats, I'm going to take it here. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, sorry, I don't have handy that application. I should have made it ready. So, which I didn't do that. I think somewhere I kept it here. I have taken the recently backup of that. I might have moved to the desktop backup. Yeah, sorry, here I have. That's okay. I'll show you that here. This is what requirement is. Okay. Uh, just I'm showing you that how this project is like. No, hey, you have a data. From this data, like no, we are asking that to create a like no. This is the application. This is my first screen, and here we are going to, when I'm selecting the teams, what are the teams are available, you should show the teams. And at the same time, when I'm selecting the particular team, it should display the players of the particular team and how many players are there, like no. So in the visual representation, Google Charts, we are going to use it here. And when I'm clicking on that particular slice, it should show me who are the players and how much they are earning that here. And the team statistics, like no, overall teams who have spent the more money. So this is a basic statistics we want to get it here. We want to get it here, but what we have in the requirement is a simple CSV file. This CSV file we need to convert into this visual representation. We want to make it as a this application. We need to make it here. Now, as a developer, we need to think that here. Hey, what concept should I use it? Where should I maintain my data? So suppose if this person, a UI developer, is asking you want to get all the team names. How do I give him all the team names? But if you look at here, our data is having the GT and all the team names associated with the player it is having here. From there, how do I get the unique team names? So that's what you will write one API for that. That API is going to return the list of team names. When you select on the team, if he gives the team name, how do I filter all the players of the team? How I'm going to give that? So this is the job of your as a developer. You would be doing that here. This is one of the project I'm saying that here. Practically, once you develop that here, this is one of the student has created this application, and he has deployed this into the some place. Just I'm going to show you that here. I think he has deployed the Heroku place. He is deployed. Since Heroku is not working, I doubt this application will work. Okay, this application may not work because Heroku has stopped their free services. That's the reason it may not work. I'm guessing. Okay, things may not work because those applications was deployed in Heroku. Heroku was deployed, and Heroku services are earlier it was free. I think last month they stopped the free services. Now we need to move to some other service. We need to move that here. But end of the day, this is what, like no, this is a way requirement will be given. And once you are doing the like no middle of the course, like no wherever, like we feel that hey, this is a place where you can do the project, we'll give you like these projects, multiple projects we'll be giving here. And like no, you are going to work on these projects, and you will be creating, and finally you will be deploying into some free services you are going to deploy. Okay, did I answer your question?
Yeah, Ram. Yeah, Satya, that is
Yes,
good.
we do share the recordings. Okay, yeah, so some things we'll do that here. Fine. And yes, what are the modules we are going to start it here? Everything, we will create a separate module. We will create it here. We will create a multi-module project. What is this multi-module project? Something which you are learning the first time. It will be little difficult to comprehend that. Don't worry. So we will start from the like this. How we are going to create first I'm going to create a new project, and this is a project name is, let's give it as a Jan 2023. Okay, then I'm going to take the FS1 full stack underscore one batch one. I'm going to say that this is the first batch in this year. And then we are going to select the Maven, and here JDK 19 it is selected here. In advanced settings we are going to say that here com dot, this is a career IT dot, I'm going to create it as a, like now you are going to say it as a Java full stack, I'm going to JFS, I'm going to say that here. These are my package name, I'm going to take it here. Java full stack, I'm going to take it here. Now I'm going to create this project, and it is asking me, would you like to open this project in a separate project or this is the same project? I'm going to say it as this window, no problem. And we created a simple Maven project we created. We haven't done anything here. Everything we have taken help from the IDE. We created that here. If you look at here, there is a SRC main Java. There is a SRC test Java. All your source code we are going to write it in no Java file. We are going to write it here. Now here we are going to create a new package. I'm creating here com.careerit.sfs. Okay, so JFS, sorry, Java full stack. I'm going to take it here. Core Java. I'm going to say it as this is a day one. This is my package name. Okay, not day one. I'll refactor this to the demo. I'm going to make it as a demo. I'm going to make it here. Demo, I'm going to create it here. This is a demo session. So when you're taking this package name, this is nothing but the folders. com.careerit is my company name, and the JFS is my module name, my submodule name, and then it has got the another module inside that. Like no, it's a directory structure we are creating here. There are some questions, guys. Sorry. Oh, this was some example. Okay, high important regular session. Okay, fine. Okay, now here we are going to take it here. New class, I'm going to create it here. First, we'll write it as a hello world example. This is a hello world. Okay, this is a class I'm creating here. And you know that every programming language has to start from somewhere. And that is a main method in case of the Java. And here you will be writing the main and you enter that here. This is a main method. And what you want to print as a welcome message, you will be printing it as a welcome to Java world. Welcome to Java world. Okay, that's it. So this will ensure that our setup and everything is working. So just we are saying that is a welcome to Java world. Now right click here, run the Java application. I'm sorry guys. Which is going to print the, hey, welcome to Java world. It is printing it as a welcome to Java world. We can say that no, our setup is ready. Suppose if you want to print a multiplication of the table, let's take it here. This is a simple example I'm taking here. We want to print the multiplication of the table. Okay, multiplication of table. Okay, what is the table you want to print it here? You will write a main method. What is the table I want to print it here? Int number equal to, I want to print the 19th table. I want to print it here. Okay, when I'm printing the 19th table, so I need to run the 10 times. I need to print it here. 19 ones are 2, 19 tens are. I'm going to write a loop for int I equal to 0, I less than or equal to, I equal to 1 to, I less than or equal to 10, and I plus plus. Hey, you start the loop I value from the 1 and less than or equal to 10 every time you increment by 1. And here we are going to print the sys out system.out.println first number value plus multiplication symbol plus I want to print the I want to print the plus, I'm going to print the I value plus I want to print the equal symbol. Then I want to print the result of that. What is that result of that? Number into I. That's it. And I'm going to format the code. Oh, sorry. Formatting the code I'm doing here. I'm going to run it here. Now run the Java application. Just it is going to be print the same thing. It is going to be printing it as output. 19 ones are, 19 twos are. This is what it's going to be printing here. Like now, when you're learning that here, there is a lot of things like now, what is this main method? What is this int? Like no data types, and what is this for loop? We need to get familiar with that. We need to learn about that. What is a for loop and what is a I equal to 1? What it is meaning? These all fundamentals we'll be discussing from the first class onwards. Okay, same examples. Now you got the familiar with the Java. Let's take it here. Suppose same thing if you are doing the Python. Okay, I'm using the Python. Suppose if I want to print the welcome message, just you'll be saying that as a welcome to Python world. Welcome to Python world. Just you print that here, it is done. Suppose if you want to print the table, Suppose you want to print the table number equal to, I'm going to take the 19. I'm running a for loop for I in range 1 comma 11. Okay, here we are going to print the print, and I'm going to take the f string, and here we are taking it as a dollar. Okay, here we are going to take the number into, then we are going to take the I equal to, so number into, I'm going to take it as a number into, I'll be taking the I value, I'm going to take it here, and you close the double quotes. Oh, sorry. Okay, okay, number into I, then close the double quotes, close this, and you're, oh no, and we need not to put this here. This is, I'm a Java background, more of the things like, no, just I put that here, it's not required. You see here, this is what, suppose if you're writing a Python file, it is as simple as that, here. Now running the for loop here, it is, you are taking it as a for I equal to 1 to I less than 10. Here we are taking in the range method, we are going to take it here. So those are the differences. Remaining logic is the same. So the way you print the syntax is slightly different from here. Okay, now let me take it here itself, let me create it here, that's okay. Here I can create that here in the main method. New file, I'm going to create it as a, this is a table.py. I'm going to create a Python file, I'm creating here table.py. That's fine. Here we are running a loop. What is that? Number equal to, I'm going to take it as a 19. I want to print a multiplication of the table for I in range 1 comma 11. Hey, you start from the 1, because the range is going to take the upper bound minus 1. Then you are going to print the same story, we are going to print it here. You are going to use the f string, you would be printing that here. Here indentation is a very important. In case of the Python, indentation is important. What is this? Okay, here we are going to put this here. I don't know, something it is taking here, special character. This is what you are writing here. You can compare with that Java code and this code. What is the difference? You can compare that here. Suppose if I'm going to the Python, this is a Java code. Okay, number declaration is the same, and here every statement will end with the end statement. Here we will not have the end statement. Here we are writing the for, and you are writing here, that is like, no, this is a loop beginning. Loop beginning, we will put the colon, we are going to put it here, and you are going to write the statement here. Loop beginning will have the curly braces and closing curly braces, and in here we are using the print, here we are using the system.out.println, and here we are doing the concatenation. Here they are using the upstring, which they are formatting that, and finally the wherever you are using in a curly braces, that value will be replaced with that actual number, and it's printing here. Wherever you are printing our messages, you will put it in double quotes. Variables will be printed as a just variables, you are going to print it here. That is a difference between Python and the Java. Okay, now once you know these things, and learning the syntax would become very easy. Like, no, so just I know I have to run the loop 10 times, 1 to 10 times. Okay, here the equivalent of that, they have given the range. So then I'm going to, instead of system.out.println, I'm going to use the print. So this is a way you can do the comparison and you can learn quickly. Some things you can do it in Python very, very simple and a very easy way you can do that here. But you cannot say that, no, it's a replacement for one another, no. So they complement each other, like, no. So some cases where you can solve the things by using the Python, some cases you will solve by using the Java. As a Java developer, having knowledge on the Python, it is a good value addition to your profile, I can say that. Okay, so this is the way we will be learning the, yeah, here there is no need of that. Yeah, just you will be writing this simple example. Okay, so we can discuss a lot more things. Yeah, this is what I didn't plan anything like, no, to for the demo, just I jumped into the demo session. This is what just I can we spend 1 hour, close to 1 hour. I hope I have given this some knowledge and some inputs to you guys. If you have questions, I will take your questions. Otherwise, we are done for the demo session. Any questions? Anyone has any questions?